We're at the Rose Garden Arena, home of the Portland Trail Blazers and the Winter Hawks. You know, if you look up, if you're ever at a game and you see these tiles, 10-foot by 10-foot panels, they're called an acoustical cloud, and they rotate. They're intended to recreate the roar of the noise that's made at the old Memorial Coliseum, which was one of the loudest buildings in the NBA. So glad you're with us on Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Ken Ackerman. Well, firemen are no longer called firemen, and the departments have shifted focus from just fighting fires to hear about the new fire department. Let's talk to John Klum. He is the Portland Fire Chief. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Boy, the times have changed. You're telling me that pretty much the biggest change you've seen over your course of your career was the diversity now in the departments.
Absolutely. If you look at when I first came in 1978, there weren't any women firefighters in there, and very few firefighters of color. And through the course of late 80s and especially in the early 90s, when we looked at what we were doing as far as outreach efforts and recruitment efforts, and developed different avenues for individuals to spur their interest and actually go out and do some active recruitment, that we've actually seen a 400+% increase just since the early 90s in the diversification of our workforce. And why it's so important to Portland Fire is that it's not only instill that desire and passion for the young people that they can do anything they set their minds on, but it's so important for us to reflect our community. And simply just being able to have all those diverse ways of problem solving, which that's what firefighters love to do, is solve problems. And
not only have they been integrated into the department, but tell me about Aaron Jensen.
Aaron Jensen, there's a major milestone for Portland Fire and Rescue. I'm scheduled to retire this coming June after I'll have 34 years of service to the city with Portland Fire in June, and Aaron Jensen will be the first woman fire chief for Portland Fire and Rescue. And the other major milestone that we have too is that we've nominated by her peers, we have our first woman firefighter of the year, which is Amy Rooney, a lieutenant up at Northwest Portland.
Now, firefighting is really shifting. More medical response and things such as that than fighting fires. You see the number of fires staying the same, right?
Relatively stable on the amount of fires. If you look back over my career, you averaged anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 structure fires within the city. And what you've seen in that particular time, you've seen a dramatic increase in demand for emergency medical services. The public gets kind of a 2-for-1 value on that, because you have to tool up for the significant risk of the fire. And you have those available personnel, and as through the 80s and 90s it starts progressing more as far as us getting more involved with the first responder emergency medical. When I first got in, it was about 7,500 responses citywide for Portland Fire and Rescue. Now we're in the 70,000 mark, and about 70% of those calls are emergency medical service responses.
Tell me how your partnership with private companies works. You're able to get there faster to the site of someone who's having a medical problem, and you don't compete, you work as a team.
Yeah, it's very unique, good public-private partnership model. We work in concert with American Medical Response, which has the ambulance contract for Multnomah County, and we have 30 fire stations that are geographically located within the city of Portland. That allows us to get to an incident roughly in about 6 minutes. And the reason why that's so critical is that in the significant events like a cardiac event, a person not breathing, unconscious, is that it's important that you have that intervention within the first 6 minutes to prevent any substantial brain injury or death. And so we try to get there and stabilize the patients with AMR and their matrix of ambulances. We'll get there within 8 minutes, to where we work as a team and they actually help and do the transport options.
Well, I know you're close to the completion of Station 18, which is in Southwest Portland. And we appreciate your 34 years and wish you the very best. And if you ever need a golf partner, I'll give you my number. How's that?
Okay.
All right, sounds good. John Klum, Fire Chief, Portland Fire and Rescue, thanks for being here. And thank you for being here as well on Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Ken Ackerman. Make it a great day.